I, 25M, hate the person my wife, 36F, has become. Last night we took an Uber home as we'd both had to work late. As soon as we got in, she had an attitude, making snide comments under her breath and huffing and sighing. I felt my stomach sink. Because I know the signs by now of how this fucking goes. We get home. First thing she does after stepping out is open the app and I see her rate the ride 1 star. The dude did nothing wrong. On time. Friendly. No issues. So against my better judgment I asked why she was leaving 1 star. She angrily said, "Is it not obvious he shouldn't be driving a car that fucking small?" It was a regular sedan. I tell her a bad rating it's for if they do something inappropriate or unsafe. She argued back that it was inappropriate to drive a car that size because everyone should be able to fit in it comfortably. Well, she is over 300 pounds, so I'd guess that's the real issue, not the car. By this point I had unfortunately been sucked into the argument. Need to stop letting that happen. I know. Anyway, I said it's his personal car that he's chosen to use to provide people with a service. Rides. They don't have to use it, but he's not required to own a certain size of car in order to drive for Uber. I also added that she could have requested a Uber XL or whatever the option is for when you have a big group of people and need more space. Then she's like, "What, and pay more because of my body type?" Fuck that, and fuck you for thinking that's okay. Quote. Keep in mind we hadn't even made it inside yet. She was hollering at me in the street with people close by. It always starts like this. She gets irrationally angry over some offense. Usually from people doing her a service or doing their jobs. She's snapped at people like waiters, fast food drive-through attendants, cashiers, customer service reps on the phone. When I tell her it's not okay to treat them like that, she turns her attitude to me and I get the rest of it. Now the thing is, I wouldn't have dated her for long at all if she was doing this back then. It only started over the last couple years. I can't stand it. It's obnoxious, humiliating, and completely uncalled for. I don't mean to make it sound like she does this all the time. Maybe once every month or two. That's still too much for me. Especially since a lot of the time whatever she's complaining about is her fault, not theirs. Not fitting in the Uber, for example. Her weight is her own fault. Another example would be the time she didn't specify she wanted her burger without lettuce and got mad at the window attendant for it. Or over the summer when she decided not to get a nice outfit for a wedding. Then spent the whole time being a sourpuss at everyone because she stood out. She is making me feel beaten down and trapped. Some days just looking at her makes me feel like I'm suffocating. I hate that she's not the person I married. She became some stranger. I hate that I ended up with this fat, rude, angry person who doesn't give a shit how it affects me. She refuses to try therapy for her anger problems. Because she's convinced it's always the rest of the world who's wrong. She's the victim and they deserved whatever she did. It's impossible to have a calm, rational conversation with her about any of this. She refuses to see how she's wrong. What can I do to make any sort of change? How do I know when it's time to give up? TLDR. Wife changed significantly since we got married and it's for the worst. I don't like who she's become at all. She manages to make drama out of nothing. I don't know if there's anything left to do or if I should just give up. What do you think? It's time. My guy. You said it yourself. This isn't the Coman you married. We all get one shot at this life. Just one. Don't make it to your deathbed and look back on years of regret and wasted time that you could have been happy. I honestly would have left a long time ago. Sort out your exit plan because she will make it a shit show. Bottom line, nothing is going to change on its own. You are miserable and only 25-year-old. If you haven't already, I would have an honest and blunt conversation with her. Tell her that you do not like who she has become. Have general examples ready. And you are not happy. Do not make it about her weight, because it sounds like your issues are mainly how negative and angry she has become. My guess is you have tried and probably didn't get to finish your thoughts before she blew up. I would try it one more time, but this time when she refuses to listen or whatever, be ready to act on the following statement. I am leaving. I cannot stay with someone who refuses to acknowledge that we have issues or take any steps to work on them. I have asked you to work on this and you refuse. I cannot fix it, and for my own health I am removing myself from the situation. Don't yell. If she doesn't let you finish, have a written copy that you can leave on your way out the door. Oh, let her know that you will not be taking her calls until she can have a calm discussion about next steps. Hopefully you have options for leaving. Even if you are just renting a room at an Airbnb for a week initially. She needs to know you are serious. If she doesn't, you continue with leaving, finding a more temporary place and separating things, etc. However, you need to decide what you are going to do on my very remote chance she does say she wants to change. Do you want to stay with her? Sometimes, it might be too little too late. So do think about that too. Good luck. 4-leaf clover. Dude. She wanted a younger man because a man her age wouldn't tolerate her BS, and you shouldn't either. It's time to move on. Honestly, as someone who worked retail and service jobs for 6 years, this makes me sick. Like I'm actually nauseous reading this. And would not fly with me. Being this nasty to service workers for no reason is not only a deal breaker, but it doesn't make her a decent human. I don't care how often it happens. Once is too much. If she doesn't respect the people driving her around or making her food, basic human decency. Right? How is she supposed to respect you? It doesn't sound like she is. And I think you just need to get out. You don't deserve this, and she needs to grow up. She is a 36-year-old woman who is acting like a child. I'm so sorry this is happening to you. Be safe, and I wish you all the best. Heart, you can do so much better. Heart. Dump her ass. Let me guess. It changed after you married her? She groomed you. She is 11 years older. A man in her age would have left her long ago. She searched someone younger that she could have better under control. But do you want to spend your whole life like this? It will just get worse. Her bullshit of 1 time a month will become 1 time a week. The 300-pound will get 400 pounds. The cars will become magically smaller for her. More reason to complain. You will resent her more every day. Is this a happy marriage? If a woman doesn't respect you, she doesn't love you. I'm wondering if she was always this way and hid it well while you were dating. In any case, it doesn't matter. I'm wondering how long you have been married for? I'd discreetly contact a lawyer and get your legal affairs in order. If she is, normally, angry, I'd expect her to go Chernobyl when you serve her, so make sure your assets, legal documents and personal items are secure first. Just be glad you never had kids with her. Sorry, but this really sucks. She is abusive to you. I wouldn't tolerate it. She needs therapy and to change her behavior. Or you should be out of there. You're in your mid-20s and you're married to an obese asshole who's pushing 40. Get single. Get your ass in the gym. And get yourself a do-over, son. She's an asshole. Making delivery drivers' lives more difficult than they need to be. Also the age gap? WTF? She's a walking red flag, my guy. Okay, I gotta ask. How old were you when you started dating? And by chance was this your first serious relationship? It's not your job to fix her. That's what therapists are paid to do. You could broach the subject by telling her that you've noticed a drastic change in her attitude. And ask if there's a reason why. I don't do ultimatums, but expressing how you feel like leaving given her hostility is important. It's making you miserable, and that's no way to live. You can't have a successful marriage when one person refuses to work on themselves or help. It seems like you've been kind and supportive, but there is no reason to put yourself in the way of her verbal abuse. The problem is that she is at fault and she needs to get help for her attitude. If she's unwilling to get help, then you need to stand up for yourself and remove yourself from this incredibly negative situation. Make sure to record the conversation if you do decide to end things. Just to make sure you're also safe, and as a man, frankly, you're at a disadvantage if things get out of hand. And since you said she always victimized herself, who knows what she may say or do. I honestly think you will need to leave in order to get her attention to communicate that this behavior is unacceptable. In any case, you are not required to subject yourself to that sort of emotional abuse. Married or not, or for not much longer. She needs to learn that she can either treat you better or she can spend a lot less time in your presence. Run away from her. It's not like she'll be able to chase you, tbh. I would just walk out of the relationship ASAP. I think you leave her when you get to the point where you see now a way of fixing whatever caused her to change. Maybe you are there now. You might want to consider telling her how unhappy you are and that you don't intend to stay unhappy forever. You would not be giving an ultimatum. You would be putting her on notice that her attitude is life-changing and give her an opportunity to address it after understanding the severity of the consequences. This should help you feel like you gave it every opportunity to get resolved. This reminds me of my parents' relationship. Minus the age gap. Do not stay with her if you want any semblance of a happy life. Trust me, it sounds like she is just a toxic cesspool of negativity. And as a bigger person myself, it is wrong that she is essentially taking her own internal anger at herself and her weight and projecting it onto the world. You shouldn't have to walk on eggshells around your so. Not only that, but people who are rude, mean to service folks are the worst. You are still very young. Please do yourself the favor and walk away. I'm saying this to help you out, but get a divorce while you still can. Like, that's awful. She does not love herself, so she takes it out on the everyone else. I'd send her some divorce paperwork.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.